Welcome, engineers. Let's dive straight into this explainer on mastering the Daily Progress Report, or DPR. If you're a civil engineering student, a fresh site engineer, or an experienced supervisor navigating the daily chaos of an Indian construction site, well, this is specifically for you. Today, we're unpacking a highly practical site workflow from IBG InAI.
So we've all been there, right? The sun's going down, you're totally exhausted, sitting in the porta-cabin, just frantically scribbling down incomplete data to finish your day. But do you realize exactly how this end-of-the-day scramble completely destroys your project's billing and planning? Look, when your running account bills, your RA bills, are constantly delayed, it almost always points right back to poor daily documentation. Without precise daily records, your quantity surveyor and billing engineer simply cannot justify the work done to the client.
And that brings us to our core topic. A DPR is definitely not just some boring routine chore. Think of it as a vital shield. It records exactly what happened in the mud and dust of your site today. It is the ultimate snapshot of your progress, capturing exactly what resources you consumed, the quality checks you performed, the safety observations you made, and any site issues that popped up.
Today, we're going to walk through a mentor's blueprint. We'll quickly cover the end-of-day problem, why a DPR actually matters, a step-by-step site procedure, some common site mistakes to avoid, and we'll wrap up with your daily practical checklist.
All right, Section 1, the end-of-day problem and the massive cost of scrambling. Let's talk about why delaying your documentation until sunset is a critical error.
Zero. Literally zero. That is the exact amount of accurate data you capture regarding manpower, work quantities, and delay reasons if you just guess your DPR from the site office at the end of your shift. When you try to remember from memory exactly how many cement bags were used or exactly how many bar benders were working on Block A while packing up your bag, you're going to make mistakes, and those mistakes compound into massive discrepancies for material reconciliation and labor productivity.
Moving to Section 2, why the DPR actually matters. This right here is the engineer's ultimate shield. Of all the points we're laying out, pay special attention to numbers 3 and 5, because a DPR directly impacts your money and your time. It is your strict, hard-proof 4A bills, quantity records, and delay claims. If you need to claim an extension of time from the client because of unseasonal rain, or maybe a delay in receiving approved drawings, your DPR is your legally binding proof that the delay actually happened. It tracks progress, monitors how productive your masons and helpers really are, and keeps management completely in the loop. Now for Section 3, our step-by-step site procedure. Consider this your 12-step field guide. Listen up, fresh engineers and supervisors. Let's break down the exact workflow you must follow to prepare a perfect site report every single day.
The first 4 steps are all about pinning down the exact scope. Step 1 is basic, project details, date, and importantly, the weather. Step 2 is critical, your exact work location. Step 3 is the specific work done, like PCC or shuttering. And Step 4 is the measured quantity. Always start with the exact scope. Don't just write concrete done. That won't fly. You must explicitly write down the exact block, grid, and exact cubic meters poured. Something like Block A, grid A1 to A5, 25 cubic meters of concrete.
Okay, next up is our resource tracking. You must list your manpower trade-wise. Don't just jot down 15 laborers. Break it down for us. How many bar benders, carpenters, masons, helpers, and operators? Next, record the exact material used, the number of cement bags, metric tons of steel, or square meters of blocks. Then record your machinery. Was the excavator actually used? Was the concrete pump active or just sitting idle? Every single resource utilized needs to be logged.
Finally, the last 5 steps are about compliance and the tough site realities. Record your quality checks, like slump tests or cover checks. Note down safety observations, like barricading or PPE usage. And crucially, this is huge, note down honest delay reasons, like material shortage or client approval pending, along with clear, geotagged site photos. Doing this will absolutely save you during heated client meetings. Finish it off with a clear plan for tomorrow so the morning shift can hit the ground running.
Section 4, common site mistakes. Let's look at rookie versus pro practices. Even experienced site engineers fall into these traps, so let's identify the mistakes that will completely ruin your documentation. This perfectly captures the difference between an amateur and a professional. If you just write "work in progress" on your report, guys, that means absolutely nothing to a billing engineer. They literally cannot bill the client for work in progress. They need hard numbers. The pro writes, Block A, 1.5 metric tons of reinforcement bound.
It's verifiable, it's exact, and most importantly, it gets paid.
So, never, ever prepare a DPR without actual site verification. Sitting in the office and guessing is a recipe for absolute disaster. Never forget exact locations or quantities. And another massive mistake, mixing up your completed tasks with tomorrow's shuttering or plastering plan. Keep what is done totally separate from what is planned. Oh, and never skip a day. Your sequence has to be continuous to tell the true story of the project.
Section 5. Your daily practical checklist. I want you to be fully ready for tomorrow's shift. So here's a practical toolkit you can use immediately to structure your day.
Do yourself a favor and take a quick screenshot of this checklist right now. This is the exact format you need for your daily site execution. If you divide your reporting into these 5 logical buckets, setup, core work, resources, checks, and planning, you will never miss a critical detail again. It turns a really stressful end-of-day task into a simple, logical process that you can just update as the day goes on.
So, the big takeaway is this. Always remember, your DPR is your undeniable, rock-solid proof on site. Prepare it with hard facts, proper quantities, and undeniable photo evidence. It's essentially the legacy of your hard work in the field. When the project is completely finished, these reports are the true history of exactly how you built that structure from the ground up.
And that wraps up our explainer. I really hope this blueprint transforms the way you handle your site documentation tomorrow. Join the IBG InAI Telegram community to master even more practical civil engineering workflows. Now, I'll leave you with this question. If the client randomly audited your site's progress reports today, would your documentation defend your hard work, or would it end up costing your company the next RA bill? Think about that and start executing like a pro by IBG InAI Civil Workflows.